Every day thousands of tourists come here. But while some leave absolutely thrilled, others are convinced they wasted their money. So, is this hotel really worth it? Let's find out. Welcome to Vista Sol Punta Cana Beach. Vista Sol Punta Cana Beach presents itself as a wonderful complex with wild nature on the shores of the Caribbean Sea. A beautiful and cozy area with wild birds, delicious and diverse food, luxurious and comfortable rooms. All this is supposed to await you at Vista Sol Punta Cana. But is it really so? Watch this video until the end and find out the whole truth, especially what exactly shocked me. The hotel rating is 4.1 on Google, 7.7 on Booking, and 3.9 on TripAdvisor. However, even such a popular hotel has its drawbacks that can significantly influence your choice. Let's take a closer look at all the pros and cons of the hotel so you can make the right decision. But before we start, I'd like to ask you to subscribe to our channel and support this video with likes and comments. Thank you. I really like the beach at Vista Sol Punta Cana. It's beautiful, wide, and very scenic. The sea is clean, the sand is soft, and the palm trees create pleasant shade. The loungers are comfortable, and I personally found it very relaxing to rest on them. But unfortunately, there aren't always enough of them, especially during peak hours, so I had to search for a free spot. The persistent vendors spoiled the impression a bit, approaching every 10-15 minutes. It was annoying, especially when all I wanted was to relax and enjoy the silence. The beach toilets were dirty and poorly cleaned, which doesn't match the hotel's claimed level at all. The beach bar left an unpleasant impression. Drinks were served without enthusiasm and often prepared randomly. For example, one time I was served a margarita without salt on the rim, another time a Cuba Libre without lime. However, I was pleased with the food truck. You could grab a quick bite with pizza, a hot dog, or a burger. That's especially convenient when you don't feel like going back to the main restaurant. Overall, the beach is good, but there are definitely things that need improvement. Although, as it turned out, the beach was only half the story, the hotel grounds surprised me even more. The grounds of Vista Sol Punta Cana gave me a very mixed impression. On the one hand, they're truly beautiful and green, with lots of tropical plants and wild animals. I especially like the peacocks and ducks freely roaming the area. It created a cozy and private atmosphere. The location of the hotel is also excellent, right on Bevero Beach Promenade and only 15 minutes on foot from the center of Los Corrales, where you can find a market, pharmacy and a couple of decent restaurants. All the pools were always clean and pleasant for swimming, and they were never too crowded. However, it was almost impossible to find a free lounger near the pools. Although reserving loungers is not allowed, everything is covered with towels from early morning, and no one uses them. During the day, the pool water often became cloudy and looked dirty. In many parts of the grounds, especially near the pools, there was duck droppings. Clearly no one was taking care of this. Wi-Fi was unstable and very slow, especially in the rooms and outdoors. This added inconvenience, especially when I wanted to quickly look something up or send a message. Visually, everything looked fine, but upon closer inspection, it became clear that the level of service and cleanliness leaves much to be desired. For comparison, check out this other hotel in Punta Cana. The link is appearing in the top right corner right now, and I'll also pin it in the first comment below this video. The hotel grounds obviously have their drawbacks, but the food, that's a whole different story, and believe me, there wasn't much to be happy about. The food at Vista Sol Punta Cana Beach was the biggest disappointment of my stay. The buffet looked dull and was almost inedible. The food was monotonous, mostly rice, noodles, eggs, and a bit of cold meat. There were almost no vegetables, and desserts were constantly running out, and the few available were very poor. Several times I saw birds pecking food directly from the trays at the buffet, and no one reacted. Once, I even saw a cockroach right on the grill where they prepare omelets. It was a shock, and after that, my appetite vanished instantly. The alcoholic drinks were terrible. Each bartender made cocktails differently, and none of them tasted good. The beer was clearly watered down, and the cola and juices were fake and artificial. There were always queues at the bar because there simply weren't enough bartenders. The themed restaurants were overall more pleasant compared to the general dining, although not without their issues. The American restaurant turned out to be the worst of all. Expect oversalted, overcooked food with zero flavor. The only highlight was the Asian restaurant, where the dishes were genuinely delicious and well presented. The buffet definitely needs an overhaul and quality control. Even with some variety, the dishes were poor in quality and poorly prepared. The food clearly drags the hotel down. And if you think it can't get any worse, wait, because I'm about to show you my room. To be honest, I didn't like the room at Vista Sol Punta Cana at all. From the first moment, there was a strong smell of dampness and old age, especially in the bathroom. The air conditioner was leaking and emitted a strong moldy smell, making the room uncomfortable. Even though they fixed it later, the unpleasant smell remained. The room looked outdated, peeling paint, dark corners and an overall dirty feel. Despite daily cleaning being advertised, I didn't notice much cleanliness. The shower drain was clogged, and water would stay on the floor after each use. The bed and pillows were uncomfortable and clearly needed replacing. The Wi-Fi in the room worked very poorly and kept disconnecting. Just compare the rooms in this hotel to others. A link to our Punta Cana hotel review playlist is now appearing on your screen and is also pinned in the first comment below this video. Overall, the room needs a major renovation and improved comfort levels. And just when you start to come to terms with the flaws in the room, hoping for at least a warm welcome, you're greeted by the reception. The service at Vista Sol Punta Cana was, to put it mildly, unsatisfactory. Some staff were indeed friendly and respectful, especially those working in the restaurants and on the beach. But the reception staff left a very unpleasant impression: cold faces, no smiles, and minimal willingness to help. At check-in, I felt more like a burden than a guest. Overall, the staff came across as tired and irritated. Grumpiness and indifference were felt almost everywhere. Service at the reception and bars was especially weak, as if people were working under duress. Smiles were rare here, and guest requests clearly brought no joy to anyone. It seemed to me that many staff members simply didn't care. I would have liked to see more friendliness and professionalism. With this kind of attitude, it's hard to speak of genuine hospitality. Unfortunately, I never got a smile from the staff, but thankfully, the animation team made up for it. Because as soon as the entertainment program starts, the hotel seems to transform. I generally liked the entertainment at Vista Sol Punta Cana. There was always something interesting going on during the day. Aqua aerobics, pool games, dancing. All of this added a fun mood and kept things lively. The animators put in effort, and you could feel it. The evening shows were decent, sometimes even really good, especially the musical performances. Although, to be honest, most of the shows were fairly simple and nothing special. But they were perfectly fine for a laid-back evening after dinner. Overall, I'd rate the entertainment as good, with a focus on a cheerful atmosphere. This is one of the worst hotels I've ever stayed at in Punta Cana. Be careful, remember the name, and don't fall for the ads like I did. At Vista Sol Punta Cana, only the sea, entertainment and beautiful grounds are worth mentioning. But the rooms, food, and service are just awful. From the moment you arrive, you're met with gloomy staff who make you feel unwelcome. Then you're taken to a room that's nothing short of dreadful. Almost everything is old and barely functioning. When you decide to go eat and head to the restaurant, watch your step so you don't step in duck droppings that no one bothers to clean. And once you make it to the restaurant, don't count on tasty or diverse cuisine. Just hope there aren't cockroaches, although I personally saw one. I really don't understand how Vista Sol Punta Cana has 4 stars. Unfortunately, I do not recommend this hotel for a vacation, and I'm sure you can find a much better one for the same price. In the meantime, I recommend you also check out these videos about other Dominican hotels. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss our new reviews. That's all from me for now. See you at the next hotel.